Hi guys, just chilling with my kids. Hubby's sleeping in the other room. He works all week, so he kind of catches up on his sleep on the weekend. Today's just one of those days where I'm not feeling very well. When I do eventually make this video, I will include this just to show what a typical day is like when I'm not feeling very well. Your hair is underneath me. But yeah, it's been a pretty lazy day, so we'll see where it goes. I'm definitely going to be taking a nap soon because I have a massive headache, which explains why it was off when I first started the video. Okay, so I sped this part up so I wouldn't bore you guys too much, but I did eventually lay down that day, and I had my husband bring me a cold rag to put on my head because it helps with the migraines. And this is typically an everyday thing with me. It starts out as a headache and then ends as a migraine. I did eventually start to feel better after I woke up, and the kids and I went for a walk. Well, as you can see, we're going on another walk today. I have hours where I can do well and hours where I don't do well. So we'll have to see how long this lasts. Good morning, guys. Hope everyone's doing great today. I have been thinking about doing this video because I want to let you guys know more about me. And, you know, because sometimes I won't make videos, sometimes I won't feel well enough to be in the videos and whatnot. So I wanted to explain why that is, because at the beginning of this video, you'll watch me suffer. I was in a lot of pain at the beginning of this video. The beginning of this video happened over the weekend. This is Wednesday. I believe that happened on Saturday or Sunday. This video, that it's probably not going to be up till Friday or Thursday or Friday. But I was trying to think how I wanted to start it. Like, do I start like recently and then I was like, wait, no, I can't start recently because this pain has been going on for years. So I decided that I'm just going to make this a tell-all, like explain everything that has happened from birth till now. And I'm going to try to make it as quick as possible because nobody wants to hear a long story. I was born October 1989. I will be 30 this year. 30. I had a rough childhood. We moved around a lot. So, I don't like to talk about my mother. I haven't spoken to her in 3 years. Except for a few insults here and there. Because she likes to block and unblock me on Facebook. And, yeah, it's not a good relationship. Anywho, I met my husband in 2005. Unfortunately, shortly after I met him, we moved to Kansas. When I moved, like when I first met Carrie, I felt a spark. When I moved, I felt heartache. So I knew I loved him from the very beginning. We moved to Kansas. We were there for a few months. She got tired of her boy toy, moved to Missouri with another boy toy. I was at this point really sick of moving around, so during summer vacation, I stayed with my grandparents, and then when school was about to start back up again, she tried to get me to move back to Missouri with her, and I just didn't want to. For one, I had been talking to Carrie. We were rekindling what we had in 2005. I just didn't want to live with her. I didn't, because I knew that relationship wasn't going to last. Not long, anyway. So she allowed me to stay with my grandparents. And then Carrie and I would hang out a lot. And it got to the point where one day we were talking and he goes, you know, people think that we're already dating. Do you think we should be dating? And I was like, yeah. I've been waiting for you to ask me. And he goes, okay, well, we'll just start dating then. So we dated for like 6 months. And then in 2006, during a family reunion of his, he sang a song for me and then proposed at the end of it. So in 2006, we were engaged. I started working with his sister at an ambulance shed. It was going great. I was a billing clerk, so I would like type stuff in and call people. It was a good job. Things started getting heated between Carrie and I because I was trying to plan the wedding and all that. It was very stressful. I don't handle stress very well. It's gotten better over the years. We ended up breaking up early 2007. I was heartbroken because I knew deep down that he was the love of my life, and he took something that I could never get back. Yeah. So I began working at a restaurant. I was a waitress, and I met a guy there who was way older than me, more experienced than me. Things did not work out between him and I ended up back together with Carrie in 2008. We split up again shortly after that, and I began working in a factory. I ended up getting laid off. Him and I got back together in 2009. Started working at that factory again. I got laid off. It's 2 separate buildings. The first time I was packaging stuff. The second time I was making the stuff. 2010. That was a good year. 2010, I was turning 21. So I started talking to this guy on Facebook. I thought he was cute. We started talking. We ended up hanging out. I got very, very drunk. I wasn't 21 yet. Yeah, I wasn't 21 just yet. I was turning 21 that month. It was in October. I got drunk. Did things I shouldn't have. Felt obligated. Can you please stop? Can you go to your room and play? The living room's not a playroom. Can you go to your room and play, please? Take your Barbie doll with you. Anyways, I felt obligated to date this person after that. I did develop feelings over time that quickly disappeared when I found out that he was hanging out with the girl that he told me he was madly in love with back in the day. They were just friends. Turns out this person was the same person dating Carrie at the time, because Carrie and I hadn't been talking. I was living with his sister though, so I did know things that I didn't want to know. So him and I weren't talking until he decided to message me one day and was like, "Did you know your boyfriend is with my girlfriend at her house?" Nothing happened apparently, but I didn't care. I asked you not to hang out with that person for this said reasons. Turns out they did do stuff. They ended up dating shortly after him and I broke up. He also broke up with his girlfriend. Carrie broke up with her at the time because he had asked her not to hang out with him. Anywho, shortly after that, Carrie and I began dating November-ish. So him and I, the guy and I only dated for a month. Carrie and I got back together in November, and we were married in December of 2010. I also started working at McDonald's shortly after that. I loved working at McDonald's. I found out I was pregnant with Leo, had Leo in 2011. I feel like I had separation anxiety at the time, and I ended up quitting McDonald's. I just up and left. I just didn't come in one day. I was like, I'm done. I can't do this, and just left. Shortly after that, in 2012, of August, Carrie's father passed away. It was a sudden death. Not my story to tell. He was like a father to me. I was very crushed. So along with having a newborn child, like he was about 6 months at the time that Carrie's dad passed away, I just had a mental breakdown. Carrie and I had gotten into a fight on Father's Day at his sister's house. I tried to kill myself. I went into the bathroom, locked the door, and broke off a razor and tried to cut my wrist before they ended up calling 911. I did not actually get a chance to do it because they came in before I could do it. They forced me to go to the hospital, and I told them that I wanted to kill myself. They asked me if I was going to do it. I said yes, and they still let me leave under the supervision of my husband. So, not very smart. Obviously, I didn't do it. Obviously, I'm still here. Like I said, my past is very dark. Shortly after I had been at the hospital, I was told that I needed, an agreement was that I go see a therapist slash counselor slash whatever. I was diagnosed with BPD, which is bipolar personality disorder, because the day we left the hospital, I was completely fine after. I honestly don't remember most of it. Things tend to go black. I do know that he was telling me that I was very loving and telling him how much I loved him afterwards, whereas a few hours before I was telling him that I effing hated him and didn't want to be with him anymore. So, and I wanted to end my life because I was tired of all the stress and da-da-da-da-da. So, I was diagnosed in 2012 with BPD. This is when a lot of medication was started to control it. It caused me to get tendinitis, which is the ringing in your ears. I have no proof, so I can't take any legal action. And then I started having a lot of stomach problems at this point. And then around 2014, I found out I was pregnant with my lovely daughter, Melody. It was a graduation party. We were drinking, and 2 months later, found out I was pregnant. Had her in 2015. During my pregnancy with her, I had a lot of excruciating pain in my left side up under my rib. They did ultrasounds. They found out that my gallbladder was inflamed. After I had her, the pain stopped. Melody was 9 pounds. 9 pounds. It's a lot of baby up in there. I gained a lot of weight with her, but I was also breastfeeding after I had her, so I was losing a lot of weight. Shortly after I had stopped breastfeeding in 2016, I started working back at McDonald's. My health has just progressively gotten worse. Excuse me. 2017, I ended up having to have my gallbladder removed because it became inflamed again. I'm sorry. Okay. It became inflamed again, so I had to have my gallbladder removed. A few months after that, I was still having stomach problems, and some back pain. Everything was just hurting all the time. And I was going in and seeing my doctor, and she diagnosed me with depression and put me on medication. That medication didn't work, so we tried something else. That didn't work. I was like, I don't want to take any medication. Can you please just help me figure out why I'm in pain? And I'm about to cry because I'm so frustrated with my doctors at this point. I wanted to give up. I wanted to just have to deal with the pain the rest of my life. Well, she decided, I came in one day after I needed to talk to her. I was like, I stopped taking the medication. I need to make an appointment. I wanted to see a different doctor. I wanted to get a different doctor's opinion. They said it would probably be best to see the same doctor since I was already being seen by her. She already knew all the history and all that. And I was like, well, that's the exact reason why I don't want to see her. I want somebody with fresh eyes to look at me and, go from there. Every time I went in with her, she always talked about the depression. She didn't ask me about anything else. When she started in January, when she started the depression medications, that's when the migraines started. I had never really had migraines before that. I hardly ever had a headache before that. We thought maybe it was the medication, so I stopped taking the medication. It wasn't the medication. The very next month, I had a massive headache, intense cramps, very intense cramps, TMI, a little too much bleeding, there was clotting, it was bad. So in March, when I went in to see her again, she diagnosed me with acid reflux disease, which I had with my son. After I had him, I didn't have any more heartburn, so they stopped giving me medication. I was taking ranitidine when I was pregnant with him. Now they have me on this omeprazole, 40 milligrams, and it's been working wonders with that. But it wasn't helping with the cramping. I was still cramping really bad. So they did a ultrasound and a vaginal exam, which were extremely painful. My exams have always been extremely painful. It feels like when you touch a bruise, but on the inside. I know this might be too much information for some people, and I'm sorry if you've clicked out at this point. I'm not the person that, like, I usually share this with friends only. I like to think we're friends. Shortly after that, she decided to send me to a gynecologist specialist because she didn't see anything on my ultrasounds other than a cyst. I did have one cyst on my right side, which the pain is on the left side. So, I literally just saw him last Friday, and he diagnosed me with endometriosis. If you don't know what it is, it's a condition in which the type of tissue that forms the lining of the uterus is found outside the uterus. It occurs in about 1 in every 10 women of reproductive age. Many women with endometriosis have no symptoms or only mild discomfort. Others have pain that is so severe that it prevents them from doing their normal activities. And if you watched the video in the beginning, you'll see that I was literally immobile. And if you've watched all my other videos, you will see how active I am with my kids. We go on walks all the time. I hadn't been on a walk in months because of the pain. It was so painful. So instead of, right now we're trying out a birth control pill. We're going to try this for 3 months or 6 months. 6 or 3 months. I'm not entirely sure. I go back in January to see him, or I call him if I have any other problems. So far, it's kind of working. I started the pills on Saturday, so it's still a little early to tell, but I haven't really had a headache. I have been having some side effects from the pills itself, but I'm like, it's early. Maybe my body's just got to get used to it, because I haven't been on birth control pills since 2013, and it's 2019. So I haven't been on birth control pills this entire time. I've just been, because I had my tubes tied in 2015, shortly after I had my daughter. I was like, baby factory is closed. I do have days where I wish I didn't. I wanted to have more kids after I had my daughter, though, with all the complications that I had with her, the severe pain and the vomiting. Oh, God, the vomiting. But anyways, I was diagnosed this year with endometriosis, which hopefully he's right. If the birth control pill does not work, I have to have surgery. And he was talking about just scraping it and, and I was like, no bueno, honey. If these birth control pills don't work, I just want my uterus out. I pay for my own medical expenses. I got kicked off medical card in 2014, somewhere in there. I got kicked off. So my husband's been paying out of his paychecks for the medical card itself. We go through Blue Cross and Blue Shield, and every time I have to go be seen, it's $35. That may not seem like much to some people, but it's $35 to somebody who doesn't live a lavish lifestyle at all. We are currently struggling. I do plan on making a video for you guys on how I do my bills and how we go shopping as a mother of two with one, or sorry, he has two jobs, with two jobs, and one being minimum wage and the other one being like $17 an hour. It's still not enough, guys. It's still not enough. Anyways, that's pretty much all about me. If you have any questions about anything I've commented today, please feel free to message me, comment below. I can get a hold of you if you feel like that is something you would want. If I would love to help anyone in this. I struggled with this since 2007. I've always had pain, and the cramping and all that has gotten worse since then. So, in none of my doctors, I've seen many doctors, none of them could figure it out. I feel like they thought that I was faking it because I like to go to the doctor. Who likes to go to the doctors? Sure as the heck ain't me. I hate needles. I hate doctors. It took me 2 years to go in for my gallbladder pain. I'm getting a little flustered because I hate doctors. I mean, I get they're just doing their job, but it sucks. Anywho, if you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe, turn on the notifications so you can see when we do videos. Occasionally my kids enter. They just pop in like they did just a few minutes ago. Yeah, and let me know down below anything you would like to see next or any questions you may have. And until next time, guys, stay beautiful.